We had a really successful day on Friday. Hope you were here and joined us for that. We put the wall up right here. I'll show that here in just a little bit. Um, we were we did that, and we worked on the bridge some, and then we got snow. So I've been shoveling snow all morning, and I went to church, so I'm a little tired. But we will. I'm gonna today. My goal is to try to get. I thought I had plenty of the little plates for joining the rails, but I don't. So I'm going to go down and get some from Hobbytown this week. I've got enough to put 9 pieces of track in though that I got from other sources. So I'm going to try to do this entire area here today, all the way here, and maybe around that curve right there. So that's the goal for today's build session. The more we get this done, the sooner we'll be able to get to running trains. I'm hoping to have all of the track done this week. We'll probably do another live session, maybe Wednesday or possibly Friday again, like we did. I'm not sure, but we'll do it one of those 2 days, and we'll wrap up, and then next weekend on Sunday we'll probably do the ballasting, and then we'll have this done, and then the week after, right, the week not next week, but the week after, we'll get the jump piece across, and we'll be done. So we're getting really close. So I hope you all are doing good. I've had a good weekend. Like I said, just a little tired here, so I'm going to kind of go a little slow today. I've got all my tools set up over here. I'll go ahead and give a quick little tour showing the wall. It dried up nicely. Nothing buckled and came out. The glue held the way I was hoping it was going to. I wasn't sure, being that I was using a foam glue, if the foam glue was going to stick to the plastic as well, but it did. It's solid as a rock. I've tried pulling it away a little bit, and it won't, so I'm sure that's on there nice and solid. So now we can get to start building this whole kind of a thing right here over this area right here. We are good to go. So I guess really don't really need to go into a whole bunch of else since we're going to be doing this. I'll show you some of the tools I'm using for this before I'll go to the tools that I'm going to be using before we get started with it. You're gonna see a real old school tool here that I use. It's one of my dad's old tools. It's a hand drill. I don't use electric drills, never have, on putting track down. All the lower track down here was all put down with this drill. I find it allows me to just go very slowly with the drill bit, and to auger the holes out a little bit more if need be on the track, and also when I set the depth with the tape, which you'll see me do here in a little bit, it allows me just real fine control to get the depth for the nails just perfect in the holes. So, oh, somebody said hello from Pakistan. Well, welcome. Let's see. I think you're about like 8 hours a little later than us. We're probably close to around 10 o'clock at night. So, hope you're having a good night and had a good Sunday. So, all right, so let me get the phone and I'll show you. I'll get the camera and I'll show you what we did on Friday, and then I'll get the camera set up right here, shooting down on the track, and I'll show you the tools, and we'll get going on stuff. So look, you guys have any questions? Shoot them out at us. Even if you just want to talk about whatever, that's fine. I'm here if you want to chat, whatever, either train stuff or whatever. We're here. All right, so let me show you what we did on Friday. If you weren't here for the live session then. Okay, this is the wall we put in on Friday. This is styrene that I put ribbing on right here to give it a poured panel look. And I talked about, if you didn't see it, I talked about how we'll be putting graffiti in and things like that. It comes all the way down and goes around the curve right here, like you saw where the camera was set up, and this is where the overhang will be, like this, over this area. So we got this done. We got all of this on, and like I said, it is nice and solid. I can't pull that off at all. So all that's left here to do is to get the sand and build it right back up to the edge where I had to scrape it out when I put this in. But I'm not going to do that until all the track is in place. So this is where we're going to be. Do what? Okay, somebody asked if this is HO scale. This is in scale here. This is our HO down below. So as we're going along, once I get this area finished up right here, I'll be doing the same sort of thing down below here for the HO. We'll be starting to do the main line, getting it more permanent, getting the road bed down, things like that. I just wanted to get this top triple loop finished up, and then that way I can just kind of start playing around with things up here, but then we'll get serious down here and really start working on the, get this, here you can see what the jump track looks like that comes across. We'll really start getting this to look good. We'll start putting in industries, things like that. I've already got a few things earmarked down here, so we do have both HO and N scale in the layout room. So if you don't see it today, you will see it soon. But all the techniques that I'm going to show today, and everything I show, I'm going to be using the same exact techniques on both scales for the most part. All I'm doing is scaling down this up here versus what I do here. So here was the other thing we did on Friday, is I got all of this sanded. I did my patches on here. We also had a video showing the build of this. And this is like concrete patches. After a bridge has been around a while, they'll come back in and do repair work. So I got the texturing I wanted on here. It came down, sounded really good. I found more of the paint. I guess they're discontinuing this paint because I found it, actually my wife found it on sale at the place we go for it, and it had clearance prices on it. So I don't know if it's a color that Rust-Oleum's getting rid of, but I really like it for a concrete. I think it's a great concrete color. It's called Perfect Gray. So we bought the cans that they had left, and there was a couple cans left. So hopefully it'll be enough to do this and the other two overpasses I've got to make here and here, and the concrete foundation, or the concrete up here that's going to be on top of that. All right, so let me show you the tools we're going to be using today for putting the track down. Like I said, it's old school for this. This is the drill I'm going to be using right here. I've got regular power drills and everything, but for precise work like this, I like to use this because what I'll do is I'm going to change this out to the right drill head. I got the right drill sizes here. That was one thing I got from my dad, were all these drill bits, every size you could possibly imagine. It's all the way up to like 90, all the way down into the teens. So I've got some extra bits here, so I'll be putting that in here, and I'll be using a piece of tape to mark my depth on it, but I'll have that where you can see it. So here are, here's my rail snippers right here. This will be to, when I get around over here to this point and it starts to curve, I'm going to have to trim off some rail over here, so you'll see how we do that in a little while. So what I'm going to do, I think I've decided I'm going to stagger these joints right here. I'm not going to have it straight line. I'm going to offset these by like 2 or 3 inches each, so you don't see the cut right here all in the same spot. I mean, it's going to be in the general vicinity, but you're not going to see it all right here. So what I've got to do is, with these cutters right here, I'll probably use these, is when I get ready to do this, I'm going to have to take off the ties that are right here on either side of the joint on each track. And that's so I can put the, try to get one picked up here, they're really small, the little plates on that join the tracks together. I've got a little grouping right here ready to go of those. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this back track right here, and I'm going to decide where I want to put this, where I want to put my center areas right here, and that's where I'm going to start. I'll get the drill set up, get the depth set up on it for the nail heads, and we'll go from there. So let me get this set up because I can't really do anything like this. So let me take a look here, make sure this is going to be a good view for you guys. So he said, hello, hi, glad you joined us. We're about to do some track. Okay, you should be able to see everything I'm going to do right there like that. If not, you guys just tell me if you're having a hard time seeing it. I'll reposition the camera. Okay, so first thing I've got to do is I've got to change out the drill bit on this. This is the drill bit I used for the HO. So just hold on to this. Loosen that. Take that one out. I'm actually going to put this down here with the track so I know that's the one that stays with it. I'll get the other drill bit. Yeah, I checked this. I didn't open this up yesterday to just completely check. I left it sealed. I just want to make sure I've got it's going to be not bigger than the diameter of the nail head. Nope, we're fine. All right, so then we're going to put this into this. And make sure it's just straight. Yep, it is. Good. Tight. All right, so now what I've got to do, I've got to get a piece of tape like this. I'm going to measure the depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a depth right here. And I want the nail head to be a little bit below the drill bit. So just got a piece of tape, and we're just going to mark it where it's just right there. You can see right there I've got the tape marked where the head is, and let me get this reset. There we go. All right, I'll see if you can see this. All right, you can see the drill head is, the nail is longer than what the drill head is. So I've got that where I want it. So I'm going to just mark this with the tape. I'm going to wrap this around. Good. That'll do it. Get it so it's not going to back down on me, and so I know where to go. Now what this allows me to do is when I'm drilling down through, when the tape gets to the height of the tie, that's where I stop drilling. And then it'll give me just a little bit of a bite down into the wood that doesn't have a hole drilled. Okay, so that's ready to go. So the next thing I have to do is we've got to take the track, and I got to spin it over. Got to get my little cutters, and I need to take this tie off right here to have room for the plates, the little plates. So what I've got to do is we're just going to have to cut it. And I'm not worried about if I break anything or anything pops, because we're going to be replacing all of these that are around this area anyway. I don't want them going flying on me because I'd like to salvage these. Okay, so now you can see we took the tie off right here, just like that. And that gives us about that much right there, which is over half the length of this, so that the plate, so that when this is on here, the other half will be on the other side, and we move the other tie on the other side. Then what we do at the end, I don't know if I'll do this today or not, but you file the area down where the little nibs were that held the track in. You get rid of these extra pieces, and then you slide these back under. You need to take a little extra off because of the plates sticking down a little further than the track level is right now. You'll just need to, and then you can just push these right under and hide your gaps. That's all you got to do. All right, so we'll get now this end. So right here, I'm going to do just a quick test fit. I want to see how much I'm going to need to trim off down here at this far end, because when you start to go around a curve, one side's going to get a little longer than the other. So we're going to have that. We're going to just line this up right here. I'm going to put this down right here. I don't know if you're going to see this on the screen or not, but I'll show it when I get it done. Now I'm going to go around the curve right here, and I'm just going to kind of see what it's going to do when I do that. Well, that's actually pretty good. It's such a gentle curve that I'm probably not going to have to do anything other than take one tie off. That's probably going to be that should work perfectly. Okay, so then I'll do the same thing at this other end, because it's better to do it now than try to cut this out when you've got it tacked down. This one only had one piece, so that's off. Tie there, save it. All you got to do here is just keep these things. They'll move on you. You just got to keep pushing them back into place to keep that depth. Okay. Get any of this material. I had a lot of material. I had to cut some stuff back when we were putting that wall in place. And I've got some little foam and stuff in here. I'll get all this vacuumed up. This stuff is solid as a rock. It's not going to come up at all. I've been vacuuming areas over here to get stuff off. It's all glued down nicely. The little bushes won't come up. The big rocks, nothing. Okay, so we're going to come over here, and I'm going to I know this one's going to be a little more of an angle, so I am going to go ahead and take a little more off the end. I'll have it, I'm probably going to have to replace about 3 or 4 ties over here, and that's fine. No big deal. And down here at this end, so what I do, so cut my fingers up, is I just use the edge of the wood to line it all up, line my 2 tracks up. I just do it like that. All right, so we're going to remove this tie right here. Just like that. All right, now I'm going to see how my links are. I'm going to get it lined up. Okay, I'm going to cut that off on the end down there. All right, that's good. So I've got, you can see this is a little longer. This one's a little bit longer, and that may actually be all right. I'm going to put this down. You know what I need to do? I need to get the bridge out of the way, because I am going to be going under the bridge today. So I might as well get this out of the way, because I'm going to wind up knocking it off anyway. I'll get rid of the car, because I was just testing heights. Get rid of this one. Well, I'll just get rid of all 3 of these right here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to line this up. Get it. Okay, I'm going to cut that to get it smooth. These are great. These actual rail nippers, I mean, they're fast. They do a good job. Okay. I've got a good gap here on being able to do that. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to hold right here. Get this one moved out of the way, and I'm going to turn this and see what happens with the track. Somebody just joined us. Said good afternoon. Glad you're here. I'm going to cut it all off about right here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to trim this. This will be good because this will stagger my joints. Grab that, get this and that. Those are extra ties. Those will be what we'll file. Okay, now then, we're gonna just a little more of this. There we go. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plates on, and I'm going to join these 2 pieces together, and that way I can start to nail things down. So these are the little plates. If you've never seen them before, most of you probably have. It's little tiny plates. We're just going to put them on so I can do it without having to use a pair of pliers. I don't stab myself. These things are really sharp on the ends, and it can be a real pain. All right, so now we're going to go right here. We're just going to push these together. Now, I think I've told you guys, I'm using used track that I bought cheap. So one thing I had to do was file everything, sand it all down, which I've done, and let's see how this is going to go. Perfect. And the little plates here too, these were off of some of the track, so that was used. So what I did was I took a piece of, let's see if I can find the piece I actually used. Yeah. So I took a piece of sandpaper, folded it over, and then I took the plate and I just ran the sandpaper in between, where right here where it's actually inside the plate, and that cleaned everything up. You just run that back and forth, you're done, you're good to go. So I did that on every one of these just to make sure it was going to be a good clean, non-corrosive connection. All right, so now the thing to do is I'm just going to put now I'm not putting a bunch of nails in. I'm only going to put in probably per here, maybe 5 nails, 4 to 5 nails, because what's going to happen is when we do the ballasting, which is next week, this is the bottle of ballast I'm going to use. When I put this on here and we do the glue, which Mr. Ladybug's up on it. Well, there's the thing with the glue mix. It's the if you saw when we did the landscaping, it's the mixture of the 50-50 water and glue. So once I put the ballast in, and I drop the glue down onto the ballast to get it to adhere, the glue is going to run underneath the track, and it's actually going to act as an adhesive for the track. The track will then actually be glued to the roadbed. So I really don't have to, pre-glue this or anything. I just got to get a couple nails down to get it smooth, straight and all that, and then the ballasting will take care of actually the sealing it down. Okay, so I'm going to start right, I'm going to just try to I'm going to look straight down on this. And I'm going to start with the closest hole to the joint right here. Like I said, I've got my depth gauge set up with the tape. So then I'll get my hand out of the way here just a minute. I just want to get this over the hole. Okay. So. All right, I'm down through the tie now. All right, now I'm going to get this set right in the middle. I am. Okay, so now I just go down. I don't care about the track wiggling around right now at this point. It's fine. I just want to get down to my tape. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to pull out a little bit. I'll pull it up and out. All right, next step is just to get the nails. These have a really tiny head to them, which I will paint the same brown that I had on the track. Once I get all of this in and everything is set. Okay. So now we're just going to push this down into the hole I just drilled. Where did I put my hammer? Where did I thought I had every tool set up here. Well, that's really weird. I was using it to do the track down here. Sorry about this, everybody. I should have had this. I thought I had every tool set up and ready to go. Well, this is just silly. You haven't seen the hammer, have you? I know what's in here. Well, it's not my toolbox. I know it's out here somewhere. Is it up there? Why is it in the attic? Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. All right, sorry about that, everybody. My son was right. We had this up here tacking up some Christmas displays up, or Christmas decorations up in the attic. So, all right. All right. Now I could not find my awl the other day, so I've just been using this really sharp-headed nail or screwdriver. Okay, that's got it. And I'm going to do the other one on the other side over here, so I'm just done with this joint. So I'm going to have to make sure this is all lined up nicely. Should be pretty good. And you can adjust this later. What I do is I have a little small flathead screwdriver, and I use a hammer. And you just, there it is right here. So all you do is you just take this, if you need to adjust, you tap it either way, and you can make this really straight. Because no matter how hard I try to get it straight when I'm putting it down, it never is. Okay, so there's the nail. And see, another reason I do this pre-drill too, as well, it just keeps the vibration and everything down right here, where you don't have to worry about anything cracking or coming loose. This obviously won't crack because that's the foam. There we go. All right, that joint is really good now. All right, so we're going to come down here. I'm just going to line this up a little bit. I think I'll put it about right here. All right. This is just by eye. I mean, you just have to do it by eye. At least the first one anyway, unless you're right off of an edge or something and you can measure it. Otherwise, you just kind of have to go by eye. And that's why you just use the screwdriver and which one did I do? That one. You do the screwdriver and the hammer to tap it into place. Now, anything, I will get stuff between the ties before I get the ballast down. So all you got to do is just come along with the vacuum. Now, I probably should have used a slightly wider drill bit, but that's all right. I'll make it work. I go in at an angle with the hammer so as not to hit the rails themselves. You don't want to hammer that down in too far if you can keep from it. Just because what'll happen is it'll bend that rail down in there. Now I can already see that this has to go this way a little ways. There we go. That's better. Okay, I can straighten this out right here. I have to bring it that way just a little bit more, but I'll do that after a while. Okay, so we're just going to keep coming down the way. Then later, if I need to add more nails, I can. If there's some areas, there's some kinks in the road, in the track, wherever I'm at, it's not straight, whatever. I can adjust it all. I think we're doing okay. Yeah, I got a bit of a bow right here. I am going to have to probably move this one out a little bit. I'll get the rest in and I'll kind of go from there and see what I need to do. put one right here. It used to be roadbed. Its center line in the middle where you split it in half was perfectly centered. And then for some reason, most of the manufacturers started doing it to where one side was wider than the other. So you really can't go down the center lines anymore because it's going to be off. Okay. Pretty good. I'll just keep coming that way. Like I said, the glue will finish it up later. I'm going to put one. Probably going to put two right here. I don't know if you can see this on the thing or not. Let me see if I can see if that's where I'm at. Let's see. I'm right here. Yeah. So, back this up a little bit. I'm going to put two right here because we're going to go into the curve. This is actually probably going to take, I'm probably going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. Just because I'm going to want to really center this on this curve nicely. Okay. I think I'll put the next one right about here. Just keep your hand pressed on it until you get the nail in. Like that. Okay. Then we're just going to do this. I'll put it here and there. And then I'll come back in and I'll tap all these down in. Yeah, it may seem like that drill bit wobbles a lot, but it's fine. Once you get the first bit of the drilling going, you've got the hole where you need it. So no big deal. Okay, and right there. One more right here, and we've got the curve going around pretty good. I may need, yeah, when I do it, I'll have to trim a little bit of the end right there. That's all right. Okay, so last one. Down this way. Easy. Auger it all out. What? Good. Now, I won't be doing any more on this part of it right here because I don't have enough of the plates. So we'll be hidden that way. I really want to get underneath the bridge over there. All right, so now we're just going to carefully come in. Just a few little taps from there. Make sure it's down, and I'm going to hide all these nail heads, like I said, with the paint. You won't even notice them after I've got it all painted in. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me take it down here and take a look. Yep, this one right here wound up, it's going to be an issue. I'm going to have to probably pull that one and realign it. I'll re-drill a hole next to it. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. So this just shows you if you get one that's you don't like. I use these. Hardest part is just getting on the nail head. There we go. There we are. Okay. We'll get rid of that one. All right, now I'll get this lined up a little better. This is all perfect here. It's all straight as all get out. So I'm just going to put this about right like that. And then we're going to take this, and I'm going to go to the tie right next to it, get the drill right in the center. I won't use one of the pre-drilled holes. I'll make my own. Okay, now then. Yeah, that should be it. Mr. Ladybug's keeping me company today again. He's right there on the box. I'm really surprised, as cold as it's been and as much snow as we've had, they're still around. All right, let me take a look here before I get that in. Oh, there we go. That's much better. That look really good with the, we have the camera down here shooting the trains coming this way. There we go. Okay. Good here. So now I'm just going to keep coming down this way. I'll finish this back area up. The nails that look like they're still sticking up a little too far, we'll just get those real quick. There we go. Get this one. Bearing in mind and keeping track that I'm not pushing the ties down in with the nail heads. So you don't have a little tie that's got a buckle to it in the middle. There. All right. So we will just come down this way. Now I'll start looking what I got to do here. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit right to there. And we'll get started with that. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that's right. Nice. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll like I did down here. I'll tap the rest of these down in once I get down the rest of the way. Okay, so we're going to put the next one probably right about here. Pretty good. All right. Move right on down. And I'm a stickler for the everything being straight and lined up. I play a couple of games that my son says I don't set things up properly because I have everything nice and neat and orderly in lines. I like things organized and straight and neat, so I will play with this and play with this until I get these tracks perfectly straight. It may take me a couple of days, but when I get done with it, because I've seen videos, pictures of other guys' stuff, and the track will just go like this. You'll just be waving all the way down. Now, I mean that's on them. If they're perfectly fine with it, which a lot of them are, that's fine. But to me, it's got to be straight. I can already see right here. I'm going to have to move this one down a little ways. There we go. But that did it. That did it. Good. Okay. So we're almost done with this curve. So 2 tracks took us from the beginning of this curve to the beginning of this curve. I've got a lot of track already painted. So we will be doing, I'm going to angle this back here now, so in case it's not set up so you can see down to the end. There we go. Oh, somebody said hello. So I've still got 9 pieces of track to paint still. For these 3 loops up top, and that's going to be on that jump track like you saw in the HO at the beginning of this live session. And you just stay on here. Need you moving on me. That'll take me probably about 3 hours to do, and then everything will look exactly the same. How'd that do? Ooh, nice. Okay. This tapped in, looked pretty good. So again, I'm on the curve, so I'm going to put a nail here, here, and here just to get the curve established. And this is going to be getting underneath the bridge, heading towards underneath the bridge anyway, so you're not really going to notice it because all the details are going to be around the bridge. And after I've actually glued the roadbed down, I may wind up removing some of the nails, although I find it's pretty sturdy. And getting rid of them, just prying them up like you saw me doing that one just a second ago. And just letting the glue hold it down, the white glue. Put this, put the curve right here. I try to do a real gradual curve on these big sweeping curves. I think my radius was about 14 inches. I'm guesstimating at it. Get this over here where I can get to them a little bit better. Get a couple out. I didn't have a way of actually, marking it perfectly because the pivot point was going to be out here. I could have gotten a pole, used a level, and just done it that way, but I just eyed it. And I'm pretty happy with the curve. All right. Last one here. Let's see, is that going to be far enough? Got to think about the plate going underneath. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. If not, I'll take off an extra tie on the other side. Okay, that should be the last nail for this run right here. Okay, give me a sec. I got to rescue a stupid ladybug. I don't know why he came flying straight in here. Come here. Come on. Let's go. There you go. All right, don't learn from your mistakes. Don't do that again. Okay, I'm going to take a look here and see. That's pretty good. right here needs to be tapped out a little bit further. I need to bring this one in. I'm not sure which. See how that looks. Oh, that pretty well did it. And I can just kind of adjust that. Oh, that's nice. So what I'll do is when I get ready to put the ballast down, is I'll check everything, make sure it's straight before I do the glue. And well, that looks really straight right there too. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, so now we got to do the same thing here. I'm going to just stop right here. I'm going to get these 4 in place, and then I've got over here, I've got another I got enough to get around the curve to get the whole area right underneath right here done. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. So what I'm going to do too from hammering, and I can feel a few little rough areas right in these areas right here on the tracks. I'll get my Dremel and I'll just sand some areas down, and then I'll use some sandpaper right in here. Now what I do want to do is, where are we? Here. We will see how this does. How it transitions over that joint. Okay. Let's see here. I just want to feel with my finger. Oh, that's pretty smooth. I don't really even hear much noise either. Yeah, that did all right. Gonna have to start covering stuff over here. Yeah. That's nice and smooth. I got to put some weights in all of my containers. These cars are way too light. I've got this. When I do this, I'll show you guys how we do this. I use my Fabri-Tac glue and I put them inside and I balance the weights. So all I've got to do is add probably about, I've got 2 different sizes, so probably need to add about maybe 6 of each. Or not of each, but 6 of one of them inside with the glue. And that'll get rid of a lot of the wobble. How does this feel coming into this curve? What are you catching on? I wonder if it's the nail right there. Oh, I'll get that. Oops, lost my, oh, that's what it was. So I was losing my truck. I hate these things. I want to put screws into all of them. Let's say it cannot be the curve. I mean, it is such a minor curve. It's not going to be that. So it was that. Let me feel here. There's something right in here. Now this one won't come off, so I'll use this guy. Because aren't these pretty well? Yeah. I'll probably get myself one of those little ramp thingies to do the cars onto it. Should be pretty close right there. There. Now let's see how that does. No, it's doing fine. What it probably is the paint on the wheels. Or on the pins, rather. Yeah, that's doing fine. Yeah. And put some weight in the cars, let them have a little weight behind them. Yes, it is. Yeah, I didn't go with the, I think Pico has the smaller, but I need a little higher of a height to it, so it's easier for me to get stuff on and off. Oh, that's fine. When I get the third track on down over here, I'll put an engine on, put the power pack to it, and run it down here. And make sure everything's operating smoothly. Maybe we should just go ahead and do that before I get into doing all of this. So I can see right here. I'm going to take this track right here that I've got. I've kept these the same because there are, I don't know what happened over the years with Atlas, but they've changed the look of the tie. Um, I've got a bunch of track that has the real smooth tie, but then there's some of the ties that you really can see like the grain of the wood. So what I did is when I was going through the track is I made sure I kept like tie to like tie. So this is the smoother tie, so I've got to keep all of this kind of straight, which one's which, so I'll know. All right, let me see what I can do here. All right, so I'm going to definitely have to trim. Probably I'm going to trim 2 of the ties off, and I need to trim some of the rail. So let me get that. So I'm going to take 2 ties off right here. Let's see. Come on. Saving my ties. Put back under later. Okay. Now then, I'm going to come down. This down here definitely had to take back on that. This is since it's the full curve, I was going to have to definitely take back at least 2, possibly 3. We'll see here. Those pulled off. All right. Now that gives me, yeah. So I need to get rid of quite a bit of that. So we're going to trim this out. Okay. I'm going to have to cut that back. I'm going to have to take back 1 more tie. And I have to trim an offset off of the, I don't want to do the tips of those because those are really good. I have to trim an offset on the rail. So I need to cut this rail back to about right here to get this to work because of the curve. Okay. So that is for a test fit. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. Put that right there. That snugs up to it. Yeah. I don't have to cut off much down there at the other end. Do we need to take off 1 more tie though? Okay. No big deal. And I'll push the rest of the rail through. Okay. Now then, just do that. Okay. Now then, I'll readjust this by just pushing that back there, right there. Okay. Now, the other end, I'm going to trim I'm not going to trim much off the other end at all. Okay, so we're going to put the plates on. And then we will do, oh, I cut out just perfectly. There's a hole right there. That's for in the tie, so that's perfect. Now I got to start to be careful here because I'm working on a curve with scenery. So I need to get a paper towel and just kind of wrap it around the end of this so that the, well, I'm working on this and getting it joined together to the other track. I don't get it jamming and gouging my rock. There we go. I get one. Okay, so let me get a paper towel here. Just this. All right, so we're just going to wrap that around this for a minute. I'll get Where do I put my tape? I guess if I can't find it, I can't find it. Okay. So we're just going to put this right in, and I am going to have to doggone it. Well, actually, that's all right. All right, I'm going to put this up against that, just like that. And then we are going to adjust that out right there just a little bit. I'll go out a little bit further so I can get this in a little bit. There we go. I'll put that right there. And then I will shove that plate up underneath that tie right there. Just want to get this one in, and then I can really get on it. This will just allow me to have it stabilized. Okay. I don't think I'll take it all the way down just yet. All right. Oh. Yes, I am using. Somebody asked if I was using nails. I am. I'm using wire nails. These are 1/2 inch by 20s. There we go. That'll do it. Okay, that straightened that out a little bit right there. I will tap this nail this way a little bit so I even that curve out a little bit. But I'll do that after I get the rest of this set into place. Okay, so again, I'm going to want, since we're on this curve, I'm going to want a few more nails just initially to stabilize it. I guess I got some right here. Okay, I'm just going to keep coming around the curve. Just flattening as we go. And this is going onto this foam road bed real well. Working through it, doing a nice job. This is that woodland scenic stuff that we showed you guys in that video. Yeah, I'm going to take, now that I've got this in a little further down, I'm going to see if I can't put this back. Let's see if I can't work this down here a little bit like this. Straighten that up. Oh, there we go. I do. I do. We definitely do. We will be running trains here fairly soon. We got a lot of cars stored underneath. There we go. That's not too bad. A little wonky right there on that, but it's all right. Once you get the ties in, you won't even see it. Okay. So let's see. We want to keep coming around the curve. We're going to just keep working it around. I had you. Okay. We got a ladybug that's passed away over here, And it almost looks like a scene out of a desert where, you know, like something died under the scorching sun. Pretty funny. Almost got this. And then we're gonna be testing it with an engine here in just a minute. I just have to go up and grab the power pack, clip our little one, just clip it onto the end, my little test power pack. See how it goes. We'll get these all tapped down in here so we don't drag or catch on anything. Oh, we said that looks great. Thank you. Just taking my time. You know, it's a good thing when we sat this morning and shoveled snow for about 2 hours. We picked up another, I think it was about 4 inches yesterday. We've got probably about 18 inches, 16, 18 inches out there now. Cold out, so good thing to be doing Sunday afternoon since all the outside work is finished. Good. It's gonna come around this curve, then I'll grab the power pack, throw an engine on here, and we'll give it a test. I haven't decided how many leads I'm going to put on, but I know I'm going to put some leads on over here underneath the skyscraper and the station. I may put another set of leads down over on this wall. There's varying opinions on how many power leads a person should have. I've got 4 short tracks here. You know, they're like maybe 6 foot, 7 foot long tracks on all 4 sides. So I really can't see putting more than like maybe 2 leads on. But well, we do have some Thomas engines, but not to scale. We had a very large Thomas collection. Somebody asked if we had Thomas engines. But we sold those off a little while ago. They do make them in HO, which I don't know if they make them in or not. I haven't seen any at the shows or anything, but they probably do. But we may get some for like the holidays and run them on the lower level down below this level on the HO. So there's a good chance of that happening. As soon as I get this track in, I will pick up the camera and I'll come along here and show you guys everything we've put down here. All right, we're coming around the corner pretty quick. Let's see, I think I'm going to need about another 2 just to get to this point where we can test it. There's going to be some areas I'm going to have to work on with the joint, this joint right here. I may solder it. It's kind of kinks, so it's right on that curve. That's the problem. All right, I'm not gonna nail that very, very end down because that way I can put those plates on and adjust as I need to. But I am gonna go ahead. I've got a couple spots here I want to tap. Adjust my curve a little bit. Okay. So now I'm gonna finish tapping these down so the engine doesn't drag. me get the camera and I will show you what I've done. This is going to be a little bit of a booger right here, but we'll be all right. I'll solder it and then I'll file it and put the ties under it. It'll be permanent. Okay, so I can't see what I'm seeing. I can't stretch to see the image, but I'm hoping you could see. I just got a few little areas right in here that will need to be straightened a little bit, but not a whole lot. And then when the road bed goes down and we put the ties back in the gap areas, it's going to look really pretty sharp, especially with that gray road bed, that lighter gray road bed. All right, so here's how it comes. This is the joint I'm talking about. It's a little, it pushes because of the curve, so I will probably, like I said, I'll solder it on the outside, and I'll push it and get it bent a little bit to make it a little smoother, and it'll be fine. It should be okay for testing it with the engine. All right, so there's how that looks. The curve came out really nice. I'm really happy with that curve. All right, so let me go grab the power pack, and we'll throw the engine on down there, and this will be the first time we've run an engine on the N scale. So let me go grab that. I'll be right back. Just give me a second. Hello, welcome. We're just getting ready to test an engine. Okay, this is what I have. I just got a little test pack here. It's just a little MRC. I'll grab a DC engine. Oh, I gotta put this over here because we have to get to the end of the track. Put this here. This up here. Ends of the tracks. All right, so now plug it in. Grab an engine. All right, gonna test it. I've never tested this engine. I don't know if it runs or not, but it's a Montana Rail Link SD70 ACE. Give her a shot here. All right. All right, so I'll be coming your way. Right there's be the problem. No, I'm right over it. I tested down there where that car was having an issue. Nah, went right through it. Did just fine. Boy, that's a nice quiet engine. I'll have to do a review of this once I get the loop going. Yeah, see, it kicks a little bit right there. I mean, I could probably leave it the way it is, but I think I am going to go ahead and solder right on the outside of each. Grind it, file it to where I know I'm not going to have any issues. Boy, that's nice. Oh, what's to come? What's to come? Nice little trains. We're going to be having two trains going one direction and one going the other. That's how we're going to run these. And when we start running them, we'll be having three trains going at the same time. That looks really good against those rocks. That looks nice. Let me take a look. That's on the curve. See how that 6-axle is tracking. Oh my goodness. Boy, it's doing pretty good for what it is. I don't even have it on the track right. It's not even fully on. Front wheels weren't resting on it properly. There we go. We'll see if it derails when it gets down here, because I thought I had them all on. That looks pretty good. Let's see, an issue there. I did notice the truck kicked right here, so I will bend this and get it right. That's all it's going to take, is just a little bend. Now let's see if it now they're all on, I think. It sounds like it. Let's see here. I'll do a little tweaking while I'm here. Oh. And then I'll get the grinder on it. That really helped. Let's see what we got here. Am I still on okay? Yeah. Boy, these are nice engines. Boy, the detail's great. Hard part is like the flanges are like really narrow. So, okay. Let's see if that sounds better going over that. Make sure I didn't misalign the track so much that it's going to have an issue. Oh, that's much better. Much better. So I'll probably have to do that on each one coming around the curve, just a slight little bend with the needle nose. Go the other way, make sure it does the same thing. Nice. Yeah, a little bit of tweaking right there, it's going to be fine. Each one of them, that's perfect though. All right, so the test came out fine. I'm happy with that. So put this back in the case. All right. And they're in. Bubbles back on. My wife will be happy to know this worked. She bought this for me as a gift for my birthday. Okay, so yeah, that looks really good now. I may do just a little bit more bending, like right here, and then solder it. And then, like I said, I'll file all of these down, get rid of all this stuff, and then we'll put them underneath that, the plates, so we don't have any of the gaps anywhere, and paint the nail heads rather, and we'll be ready to go. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and work on track 2. So basically it'll be the same thing. We may wind up doing is here in about after I get the track 2 in, is we'll probably shift over to the horizontal. We may just leave it on the vertical mode because you guys can see everything the way it's going. I don't think there's too much of an issue. So we'll just start off. I'm going to take extra off because I can easily file and put what I need to as far as the ties go underneath the rails. So that's not the big. I'd rather have room for the plates than not. So. And we'll test this track after we do the same things. But now that I kind of know what I've got to do, this one should go much quicker. Much quicker. All right, I'm going to get these guys lined up right here. All right, now I think I'm going to take this back here further, like here, because I don't want these joints all lined up together like I was talking about. So I think I'm going to take this one about right here. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. And that gives me 6-8 inches from the other joint right here. And then what I'll probably do with this one is that I'll probably go back like over here for this one so that it's a real staggered thing here to where when I put the ties in, you're really not going to be able to see it. So I think that'll work fine. Okay. So just like we did before, plates. Oh, let me get this, turn off the power here to that track. Put the, so you guys got to see it first. First time we ran anything on this layout. As far as the N scale goes. We run the HO, but boy, it's been a long time coming getting the N scale. As most of you, or as some of you know that have been with us since the beginning. It has been quite the effort trying to figure out what the track plan was going to be, how we were going to do this. So we're just going to go ahead and put this here and get this one. And then we'll put them together and re-slide them. I'm sure they're going to slide. Yep, they did. So, but they make small screwdrivers for. Come on. How'd you get off there completely? Hang up. Nope, nope, there we go. And boy, I tell you, this all of the scenery, man, it's not moving, it's just staying perfect. Okay, and that's these two joints will definitely benefit from the Dremel, getting them a little smoother. Huh. Yeah, Atlas on somebody said hello. I'm glad you've joined us. And somebody else said that they found that Atlas can be tricky on a curve, and it can be. I just forgot to do what I normally do, which is use my needle nose, and I just tweaked it just a tiny little bit right where that curve was, and it was derailing the engine we just tested. It was derailing one wheel. Well, it would take the two off, the front and the rear of the 6 on the front. And as soon as I did that, and I just a little tiny twist right there. I looked where the apex was, where it needed to be, and just popped it, and it just smooth as silk now going across that. So you just have to work with it and take your time. I'll adjust tons of the stuff before I get to ballasting. Somebody asked this is O scale. No, this is N scale. We have N scale on this deck, and we have HO scale down here. We don't have O yet. We may wind up eventually doing an O scale higher up than this deck. I've been thinking about that. So that may not be too far out in the future as far as that goes. I've seen some really good. The only thing I really don't like about O scale, and I don't understand why, I guess because people run a lot of it on really sharp curves, radiuses, tight radiuses, is the pilot on the front of the engine is usually, the whole step area and everything is usually attached to the front truck. So that when it goes around a curve, it's like the big boy with its pilot on the nose. You have the whole set of steps swinging out, and it looks like the nose is going this way, and your steps are going this way along with your plow, just like an old big boy, and articulated. I don't understand that. Unless it is just simply for, I'm just guessing it is for radiuses. So that people that, since it is O and you don't have, they're taking into account the idea of people not having a big area for it. So they're having to work it in a small space. So tighter radiuses and diameters overall. So that's what I'm guessing. But I don't like the look of it. And there's very few engines, actually. I think Atlas does not do that with their engines. Doesn't have it. The Pilot do that. I think theirs are more prototypical. So I'll do some more research into it, and if I can find engines that I like. You know, I can find all kinds of great cars, but it's finding the engines. So if I can find good engines, I'll probably do O. I'll probably add an O level to this, just to see how it would look. And that way we can also do, how's that looking? Oh, that looks pretty good. Somebody asked, we have a C45AH. Let's see, is that an Alco? Oh, no, we do not have one of those yet. But I'm not sure the designation of C45AH is. That's not in my knowledge on engines. I guess it's an engine. I don't think that's a caboose classification. As you can see, this is going down a little quicker now. Because the other thing that I have now that helps is I've got the other track. So I can eye it to see if I'm staying parallel to the other track. That helps tremendously versus just trying to put a track on to start off with by itself. So I don't know why, but I love that grinding noise. It's just the gears, but it's pretty cool. I think probably because I remember my dad doing that when I was a kid, when I would be in the layout training room with him and hear him doing it that way, and it's one of those memory things. Yeah, those are looking really good side by side. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. I'll probably have to reposition the camera when I come around the corner because this is going to go further into the curve. But I'll do that here in a sec. And then again, now that I know about tweaking that down there, we'll just do that, and I should be able to do a good run on this, and we'll get it another test run here in a sec. We'll test one of the others I've got, one of the other engines I've got. Give it a shot this way and see if they've run. I've never run them before, like I said, never tested them, never run them. So, all right, we're on the curve, so I'm going to back this up, and I'm going to check it, and I'm going to see if we can get down there. I'm not going to be able to see the screen. Anybody, if you can't see it, let me know and I'll adjust it. But I can't see the screen. Now let's see. Did I drill that hole yet? No, I have not. We will come right in here like this. I gotta cut my nails. Now then, we will put one here. So I hope everybody's enjoying watching today. Like I said, this is just the nuts and bolts of having to do what you got to do to get running, and a lot of preparation prior to this, as you can see with all the scenery and everything. If you haven't been here before, I wanted a lot done before I actually got to this stage. So, I didn't want a whole lot to have to mess with. Oh boy, I got ahead of myself. I forgot to take the tie out down here, so where I put that in, I'll get this, and I'm just gonna have to break this one. That's all there is to it. I don't know if we'll be able to. Oh, it's all right. There we go. Perfect. Never mind. No problem. I keep forgetting I'm working with N-Scale, and it's thinner plastic than HO, and a little easier to break and move and do and stuff. So, one part is just these little tiny holes. Like I said, I haven't sunk them down in yet. Now I can come on around a little bit more. I think I'll probably just. I'm going to have to probably do. Yeah, I'm going to have to do one. This is where the main part of the curve is. So yeah, I'll have to put one right there. Yeah. There we go. It looks like the drill has moved on me, but it hasn't. Once I've made the first turn on this, the drill has bit into the wood below, and it's fine. The hole is where it needs to be, even though that drill bit looks like it's going everywhere, it's not. Okay. And you can trim that off, and I can do what I need to there. That's no problem. So I think we're going to I'm going to drill a fresh hole right there through the tie. There's no hole there, but I'm going to put it right there. Auger it out. All right, almost at this end finished. I'll just tap these down and go work the other way, and then we'll do a test run. I'm really happy with how the parallel here is great. Really pleased with that. Okay, let me get the, where are you? Wyatt says, Dan, you're faster than California. Somebody said I'm faster than a California's high-speed rail project. I don't know about that, but I am laying it down on quite a few feet of track, scale feet of track. I mean, this is going to be nice having the 3 main lines here on this main wall that I've been working on with all of this scenery just to be done. See, those are nice and tapped in. And like I said, once I get the brown paint, like I said a little bit ago, once I get the brown paint, put on the nail heads, get rid of that shine, because it's a flat paint. It's the same color as the ties, or just use the same color I use the ties. You probably won't notice it, especially when I get the ballasting done and everything between the ties done and everything looks finished. Probably not going to notice it. Okay, so let's see here. Oh boy, that's nice. Couple of spots right there. I'll just, when I start to put the ballast down, just wiggle the track just a little bit before the glue sets. Ooh, very good. I like that. Okay. So, well, actually, this won't even hit the curve. It'll just be right at the beginning of it when I get down here to this end. So, gee, look, let's do this right now. Before I get to the point of not being able to get to it. There we go. Amazing when you do things in the right order. How well that works. All right, so I'm going to put one right here. It's the track's bowing for just a little bit for some reason, so I'm going to just put one right there. Okay, so like I said, this is used track. Bought it for 50 cents a piece. Took 600 grit sandpaper. We had a video on it showing how I reconditioned it. You can find that. That's a pretty common price at train shows. 50 cents a section, 50 cents to $1 a section for used track. I bought it. It's black ties. Put the brown over it. Just perfect. Gave you that shadow effect coming through. love how it just gave me the realism effect that I wanted on it. So, not that. You can do this pretty cheap. You can get to a train show, you can find just about what you need to get for a really good price. You can haggle. Unlike a lot of places, can't haggle in a retail shop. Oh, so we said nice, thank you. Yeah, we're moving right along with it. So. I haven't got a whole lot of grip in my hands today after that snow shoveling, so it's making it kind of hard to get the drill bit down in, but it's getting there. Now my son is now off. He finished up his semester, so you're going to start to. We're actually going to show you one of our prints. When we start the print, we're going to go live with it. We're going to have it on the plate and let you guys see how 3D print goes. If you've never seen one before, those of you that have done it, seen it, it's old hat. But for those of you that haven't, you'll see how we do one of our big buildings. Usually one of our big buildings is about 3 different plates repeated. What we have to do is, because it's only, we're getting ready to do our 3-foot tall buildings, so our print bed is about 9 to 10 inches. So obviously, if you do the math on that, I mean, in order to do that, we're going to have to do sections, and we've got to go up 3 to 4 times depending upon the actual height. So you're going to see how we'll probably just show you one bed. Well, we're not even going to have the camera on that long. One bed takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to print. So printing one of the big buildings that we're going to have. Oh, sorry, left you guys over here. So he said he had big trains when he was growing up, so I'm assuming that's like the G or the O, but he likes the smaller ones. And I agree. I like N and HO, just because that's what's always been around. And now N has got pretty much everything, and now with 3D printing, anything that N doesn't have, that HO has, I can print. Well, not I can print, my son can print. And we can make, just like this overpass project over here. Oh, just like anything, any of these tall buildings you guys have seen here, our elevated track, all that is 3D printed. So, all right, so we asked how long have we been working on this? What would you say, Gabe? 4 months? About 4 months. Yeah, we've been working on the whole thing, all levels, 4 to 5 months. HO level, N scale level, scenery, everything. Yeah, 4 to 5 months, right around there. My goal was to have the thing done fairly soon, but I was hoping to have the whole thing finished by within 6 to 8 months. But that obviously, I knew that was a pipe dream. But I probably will have the entire upper deck finished within a year, and probably a year and a half. I'll have the HO, because I'm going to be working on HO at the same time. So probably between the two, we're looking at about another 12 months to get it scenic like this. Everything, all the custom buildings we're going to be doing, because we're going to have on this level alone, we're going to have 15, 17 skyscrapers. The city, and the elevated track is going to be a double track, elevated track. If some of you haven't seen it, I'll spin it around here and show you in just a second as I get these nails tapped in. We've got the double elevated track. We're going to have some really good buildings.
Oh, so he says, yeah. He said it's really relaxing just watching him go around the wall. I agree. It's fun just to sit and let him roll. And he said he's been to a restaurant that had it around the edge. I've seen those Applebee's actually here in the states. One of the ones I think it was down in Oklahoma. I can't remember exactly, Oklahoma or Kansas. Had uh, a track going around, and they actually wound up buying a bunch of my artwork that I had done over the years, of which that's one right there. That's a drawing I did probably about 12 years ago before my eyes went bad. Um, they bought a whole bunch of my artwork to go around the walls, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I never got to go, at that time I was living in New Mexico, I never got a chance to go see it. I don't know if it's all still there or not. Um, because it was a whole, that Applebee's was an entire railroad related, railroad themed um, restaurant. Okay, so I'm on the curve right here. I'm hoping this is going to be straight enough. I can just go straight with it. I'm going to move this just a little bit. I'm going to grab the track I need, break the ties off the end, see if I can get this lined up right. Yeah, I'll be able to get this. Okay, so we're going to collect my ties I need for later. Okay. And we'll get these two back here. 2 seems to be the magic number. All right. Let's see here. I get that lined up. Is that even at that? That's even at that end. All right. So if I push this, I just need to cut that back. All right. There. That'll work. All right. Let me get the little plates. And we will see what we can do here. I like to make this one as straight as possible, so I don't have to do much crimping or anything. Third line down here, that one's gonna be bad because I'm gonna have this set back all the way over to here. But if I put it here, this is kind of a flat area. I might be able to get it lined up pretty good. All right, so let's get this. And oh, yep. My paper towel. Oops. You would do that, wouldn't you? So lost my plate. I'll dig around for that after a while. Yeah, there we go. Okay, paper towel is what I want to go get because I don't want this gouging up my wall back here. Forgot to get that. Okay. Gonna leave that right there. Now we're going to pull this back. There we go. A little bit more. That's pretty good. All right. Let's just slide this in. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to get that plate pushed on. Yep. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Almost got it going. Come on. You're really going to be a booger, aren't you? All right, needle nose. Does not want to cooperate with me. All right. I wonder if I've got track or roadbed still under there. What I'll do is I'll see if I can get it to come out a little bit like this. Track's up on the top, so I'm okay there. I want to put it on the other one. That's a problem. It was just too stiff on that one. Okay. We should have it now. Yeah, there we go. I just got to work it in. There we go. Yep. All right. Now I get that pushed in. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put the nails in real quick right here to hold this, and I'll adjust it. Put that up to about right there. All right. Get that, and then I'm going to, that one doesn't have its own hole, so we're gonna put, boy, oh boy, I'm gonna have to bend that. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Here. Oh, I really went off on that. Yep. Okay, we're gonna have to bring this over here to here, and then nail that to there. Okay. All right, yeah, I get this one on this side, and then I can adjust them. There we go. That right there. There we go. Now I'll put this one right here. I'm going to adjust that right to there. Perfect, right there. This will make it a lot easier to make this curve. And I'm going to adjust those back. All right. All right, that's getting better. I'm going to bring this down to here. Let's see here. I will adjust this one to right about here. I'm going to put it right here. I'll get started with that right there. Yeah, that joint seems like it came out a lot better than that back one, since I adjusted it while I was doing it here, instead of trying to adjust it afterwards. Perfect. Okay, so now I'll take, instead of doing a whole bunch, just tweak it just a little bit like that. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so that's going to be a good joint right here. Again, I will grind that. All right, the track is in the paper towel at the end, so I don't have to worry about gouging up my rock wall. Yeah. See, I'm gonna have to tap that one nail in just a little bit. That's all right. That's easy to do. I'm just gonna get this on here, get the track tested. We're going around now. Get back up there. Now I dropped you right here. Let's grab you. Which one did I just do? I hope it's this one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's see. Where am I here? Okay, I'm gonna put this one in right here. Almost. Almost. Those curves are matching really nice over here. The distance apart is really good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, we're gonna go right here. This will be really nice looking underneath this overpass. Almost around the curve. Here we go. This puts me into the straight line. Another 2 nails. We'll put the other engine on and test this one. You kill 2 birds with one stone. Test an engine and test the track. All right, get this pulled out because it's not going to pop anymore. Over to the side and get into trouble with the wall. All right, I'm going to put 1 nail in right here. And then that should be just about it for the. Okay. Last nail. And I've already got that. I just gotta drive them down in a little further. Okay. All right, so let me get this, and we'll get this done. I'm gonna have to find my punch. To do with a pointed head here. But it works. There's a light. Ooh, the light just flicked off. I'll get the camera here in a sec and show you everything. All right, there we go. So, get the camera, I'll show you what we've done. All right, you can look down here. You can see that's pretty straight. I got a couple little wobbles here and there I got to take care of, but for the most part, it's really good. I can see right here, I got to take care of a spot right here, but I can adjust that with a nail. Coming around the track, this joint here looks a lot better. It doesn't look as wonky as the other one did, so we're pretty good there. Those come around really nice together. Okay, so we will wire this track up, and we shall see what we shall see. Take a look here. Is that going to be all right? Yep. Okay. All right. Let me grab another one. Let's see here. All right. There you go. Okay. So we're going to try this one this time. This was another gift a year and a half ago. I've never done anything with. Never tried it. Never powered it up. Never put it on anything. So. We shall see what we shall see here. All right. Put it on here. And I'll get down real low. What I'll do is later I'm going to check it with light on the sides and watch the wheels as they're tracking on the. They're going across all the joints and stuff. I'll really be able to tell then. Okay, that's there. All right, let's see how we do on this joint. It did not come undone. Did not right off. Perfect. That one, I thought that one was going to be a little bit better. That's nice. Perfect. Okay. Back it up. Check it over that joint again. Nice. All right. Check this guy here. All right, nothing jump track. Time. Not a single issue. Perfect. Nice gradual curves. All right. So I'm going to call that good on those two tracks. Let's check clearances real quick. Now that I've got the track in place, when I was checking this, I didn't have the track on. Let's see how it goes. Going underneath the overpass. Okay, that's how it's supposed to sit. That's the clearances. Okay, let's see how it does. Height clearances. Oh yeah, no problem. And I'm sure I'll have to put the truck back on the double stack, and I'll put it on there. And I know, given the height difference right here, as you can see coming through, there's a lot there. So I'll have more than enough room for the double stacks to do what they're supposed to do. Well, yep, all the lights working up front. Perfect. Okay, well, that's pretty good. So, I'm going to show you what I was talking about as far as the printing goes and some of the other stuff. And let's see here. What is this? Oh, yeah, I just got to get that out of the way. Okay. So, if you haven't been with us before, here are some of the laser printed buildings that we have. This is about 18 inches tall. The big one that's going to go right here is 3 foot tall. So that's going to be right here along with the station. That one back there is pushing about 20 inches, 22 inches up there. Here's the elevated. It's all printed, custom made. This will be getting a second. I'll be moving this down this way a little bit, and there'll be a second one on the other side. We'll have double main lines coming through here in the elevated, coming through town, going over here. More skyscrapers here, transitioning to residential. We'll have townhomes and things like that. So you can see that's just going to look really nice right there. We'll have lighting on this back side. So if you can imagine the buildings will be butted up right here next to that. So that's going to look really sharp coming underneath there. So I'm tired, guys and gals. I think I am, with the morning we had, getting started at 5 a.m., doing all that. I think I'm going to just set this here and we'll just kind of do a wrap up. I know I said I was going to do the 3 tracks, but my shoulders are killing me. So we are going to, let me just pop this up right here. There we go. Let's do a little wrap up here. So as you can see, slowly but surely, we're getting there. This looks really, I really like how good this looks right here. All of my cars are weathered, so I don't have, and you can just give you an idea. I've got to get the couplers on this, but that gives you an idea of what that's going to look like. I will be weathering some of the engines so that some will look new, some will look old. I've got to find, I'm going to get a Surfliner set that's going to be our first passenger line along here. So I'll get the actual Surfliner cars from Kato, and we'll have a nice set of those. That'll be what we'll be using to stop underneath here. You're wondering if it's just going to be a loop? No. If you haven't been with us before, this is actually going to climb. Starting right over here on the jump track, it's going to climb to where it's going to get up. The passenger trains will start right here. There'll be a point here where you have underneath all of this, you'll have your platform. So passenger trains will come in here, hit this, then they'll cross over, and then they'll climb, and they're going to get all the way up to the elevated track up here. There'll be a station on the track with stairs and probably an elevator. This is in. Somebody asked what gauge this is. This is in. In here, HO down here. So, like I said, once we get the main lines done here, the 3 main lines done here, I'll start working on this down here on the HO. But we will then, once it's on the upper elevated track, the double up there, then when it gets over to here about where the camera is sitting, it'll start its downgrade and it'll work its way back down here. So we'll actually have a figure 8 on top of itself, inverted on, over itself, so that it can go between the 2 stations and be off running and doing its own thing. And then we'll have another level beyond the pink. That's going to be the point to point. We'll have some industries tucked back in here that will switch off the main lines, that we can have switchers run down in here and get into the industries. There'll be a bunch of industries along the wall over here. There'll be more of this, will be more of the industrial end. If you're wondering why the rock here and then the flat, if you're familiar with, they're called steps in the mountains. It's where you have the steps of the slopes that go up. There'll be a mountain on the background right here in the corner, and these are the areas that people have come in and tamed the mountain to suit their needs. Cut things down, put stuff in, so that's why we've got all this exposed rock right here. And then it comes around, and we have this would be like the main part of the city, and we have the retaining wall for it versus the rock. So I think it'll be a nice, visually, it should be really nice to look at. That's what I'm going for, having an artist background. I'm really shooting for the visual part of it. So I think I wish I could get, once we get the lights set up better and I can get some good shots down here, you'll be able to really see how nicely this all came out, blending into the rocks and blending into the walls. And there's still a lot to be done. Like every one of these little tufts of bushes, I'm going to be going in with a fine paintbrush, and I'll be doing light highlights on the tips of the light, like one side where the sun would be coming from. So you're going to have a variance of colors on all the bushes. So there's just a lot to be done. Which is not what I took this a little bit further than I thought I was going to originally. That's why I thought I'd have the whole thing done in 6 months. This is the work up to about 4 to 6 months at this point.
So it'll give us probably about another between 8 and 14 months, and we'll have probably both levels finished. And then we'll go upstairs and we'll start on the, in the attic, we'll start on the dog bone that's up there. That's gonna be another in-scale HO, multiple, one above the other. And that one is actually gonna have about, instead of a short, let's see, I think I added this up at one time and it was like 6, 6, 6, 7, and then about 8, so 15. So that's about 27 feet around in a loop. Up there, a loop will be roughly about 70 feet. So it's almost 2.5 times the size up there. So we'll be running longer trains, we'll be having bigger industries. But right now, I'm just concentrating on this. So next step is going to be, I'll get this finished, I'll get the track, I've got all the track painted, it's all here ready to go. So I'll finish, I've gotta go down to the hobby shop and I gotta pick up the plates. I ran out of plates to go between the tracks, so I'll finish that up. Probably Tuesday, I'll get all the rest of the track down all the way around the corner. And we will then probably be doing a live session on Thursday or Friday, I don't know which yet, where we'll be doing the ballasting. So I will do a little experimenting on the ballasting. I've got a couple ways I used to do ballasting, but there's a new technique that I thought of that I want to give a try to get a nice narrow covering, but where it looks very natural. So I'm gonna experiment with a little bit. If I like what it is, I'll go with it. If not, I'll go back to the other way I did it. But either way, well, next build session we'll be coming along here and adding all of the ballast. I showed that at the beginning. It's the bottle over there, the mixed color, the blend. It's got black and gray both. So that'll be, once I get that done and I get this jump track put across like the HO has, this will be done and ready to go. I'll be able to start running, and my son's now off, so like I said, we will be doing tons of skyscrapers all along here. We've got 12 to 14, 15 picked out that we'll start printing, and within the next 6 to 7 weeks we'll have them all printed and assembled, and they'll all be sitting in place right here. And then I'll just paint them over the winter. I've got to get everything sanded and painted. We use PLA, so it has layering. So what we do is we build this and we print it in layers. You'll see that when we do an actual print video, because we'll set the camera up and you guys can watch and see how it prints. We actually do the base part as a single layer, and then the pieces that were on the model, that were like the trim and the details, that all gets printed separately and then applied. The reason we do that is so then the wall is just flat and I can use a palm sander. Palm sander takes me all of about 15, for building that size, between 15 and 30 minutes to sand it smooth, and it looks just as good as resin, and you just don't have the toxic fumes. So it's just processes that we figured out how to do as far as the layering goes. So you'll see all of that coming into play here. We'll have the city probably completely finished, I'm hoping, by mid-spring, to where by the end of summer we'll be wrapping up pretty much this whole level, and I'll have probably about 2/3, 3/4 of this done. In the meantime, we've got some good run videos coming for you from places we've gone, shows we've done. There's some really neat stuff coming. We've got some really good build videos coming. I've got some more reviews coming. We've got it's over here. We had a company in the Netherlands send us some decals and stickers to look at and see how they are. So I'm in the process of recording that video for the review. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. We'll have some more unboxing, the new unboxings that we've been doing. The last one we did was this car right here, the corn car, the N80X for the North American Ethanol. We've got that video up there. So that one, this is a gorgeous car. If you haven't seen that video, it'd be worth checking out. We've got some in-scale cars on review coming. We've got some of our oddball roads coming for review. We have another one of the Menards buildings we just picked up. We picked up the Gamer of Thrones building, so we're going to do a review of that this week. The power plant, I don't know if you saw the review on this. This was the power plant we just reviewed. The thing is lit up like crazy. Every one of these are lights, blinking lights, the whole works. This is HO, but I'm going to convert it to N by simply readjusting the size of the doors with like a bottom plate that goes all the way around. We'll do the build on this, and it's gonna go up here somewhere, probably back in the corner, and we'll have a substation with power lines that'll come into the city. So this is all bills that are gonna be coming in the next month. What was the other building we got that was like that? What was that? I can't remember what the other. Oh, we did the Tide plant in the HO. We'll put that down below it. It's got a lot of lights, great LED lights on it too. So the new one, like I said, is a Gamer of Thrones. Interesting play on words. I'm not going to spoil the surprise on that. It's pretty funny, especially some of the outside displays. So we've got that coming. So there's a lot of stuff that we have coming. Starting this week too, we're going to be putting up our first membership live feed. It'll just be something that we'll be working on here in the studio and the layout. It could be something as far as like maybe doing some graffiti, or doing some weathering on a car, or maybe even just painting some more track. But we'll do our first live feed for our membership thing. It's not going to take away from anything that we're doing on our regular channel. You'll still see all the same amount of videos that you've been seeing, that we've been doing. You'll still see all of those. We try to do 2 to 3 videos a day, between a run, a vertical run, a short, a long, and then some kind of review or a build. And that'll increase as we get moving along and we get into more projects, especially when we get into these buildings. I'm hoping to do maybe upping it to between 4 and 5 videos a day. So we've got the community set up. So if you'd like to go share some pictures of your layout or any of your builds that you're doing or your collection, feel free to put them up there. We'd love to see them. We're putting all kinds of polls up there right now, talking about. I think the last one we had was favorite. We just gave 3 options on favorite presidential engine. We featured the Abraham Lincoln that UP did, the George Bush that they did, and then I can't remember the other one's a steam engine. But we do polls like that. We did a DCC poll and things. So if you want to chime in on that, feel free to. You can make some comments. We also have, let's see, what was it? There's something else that was new. Anyway, you'll see it coming up in new videos coming. So anyway, we are really moving on this. We're getting a lot of content put out there. We've got over 1,000 videos so far. We hope to get to about 1,500 videos by February, March, something like that. We're going to try to do between 1,000 and 1,500 new videos per year. So we're just going to, and it's all going to be original content like this that we're doing. So if you want to go back and check old live sessions that we did, there are a bunch of build ones, showing like painting the track, painting doing the scenery, painting the rocks. We did that as a live. Showed how to do that. We did a live on some of the bridge stuff. So there's all kinds of things on the lives, along with, if you go back a little ways into the videos, you're going to find some really great runs of stuff. We go to a lot of train shows and we get some really good captures of some really neat equipment, all scales. We get everything from T all the way up to garden size. So there's some really good stuff there depending on what you like. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this today and found it at least entertaining in all my flubbubs. You know, I did not do this as smooth and as natural as I usually do. I was, like I said, a little tired today, so that was playing into it a little bit. I probably should have had all 3 tracks done on the same amount of time I did the 2, but I'm pretty happy having 2 and 2 operating well without any derailments and just running off of a single lead. So that means all my power is running between the tracks well, so I'm happy with that. So I probably will be able to get away with just 2 power leads, even when we switch to DCC. So anyway, I think we will call it quits there for the day. I was thinking about doing a horizontal, but I'm pretty beat. So I think we'll just call it here, and we got a lot done. I really wouldn't be working on anything else anyway. So look for an announcement probably about Wednesday or Thursday for that next live one, and we will do the roadbed. And then next weekend we'll figure something out. I'm probably going to do a graffiti next weekend. I've been itching to get back to doing a graffiti car, so I'm probably going to pick one of my cars, and I'll get it weathered up prior to the weekend, and then I'll just put the camera over here, aim it down on where I paint, and I'll show you guys how I hand paint graffiti. And it'll be an HO car, but it can be done in any gauge, and it's just with acrylic paints and a paintbrush. So anyway, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it and have a good rest of the weekend. Or if you're heading into your work week, I hope you have a good work week. So stay warm and have a good one.